Welcome back, Arizona. Lately, we're hearing more and more about dementia cases. Wendy Williams has been dealing with dementia since leaving her talk show back in 2022. And Bruce Willis's family announced that he was dealing with the same diagnosis since his departure from acting. We know it impacts so many Arizona families. Dementia isn't just incredibly difficult for the patient, but being a caregiver is also increasingly painful as well. And often both need increased support. Really important topic. So here in studio, we have Lolita. She is the founder and CEO of Hearts for Dementia. She is here to talk about support being offered and a lot about caregivers and how they can be supported as well. So thank you so much. We know that this is an important topic. First off, what do you do as a family when you get that diagnosis that maybe mom, grandma has dementia?
Yes. By the way, I just want to let you know, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. The first thing that you definitely want to do if you get a diagnosis of dementia is make sure you seek legal counsel and start your estate planning. That is so imperative and so important. I definitely recommend any caregiver to get involved with a support group so that way you don't feel alone and you have the support that you need. And definitely consider getting a counselor, some sort of therapist, because being a caregiver, there is a lot of caregiver burnout. It is very stressful, and you definitely need to get yourself involved with the resources in the community.
Talk about from a financial standpoint. We know that this is really hard, right? Financially. What is your advice to people? Because sometimes, they might say, you know what, I've got to take care of my mom and dad because maybe there's not enough funds to have somebody come into the home. What can they do in that situation?
Yeah, and so we are partnered with Arizona Long-Term Care, so that is a resource out there in the community if you qualify for that sort of service. We also have short hours that you can incorporate care, so 4 hours twice per week or 8 hours per day, so that can help to mitigate the cost of care.
A little bit, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what to do as the Alzheimer's or the dementia gets worse. What is your advice if you see maybe your loved one really start being very forgetful, maybe they're mean, maybe they're not bathing, taking care of themselves? At what point do you go into a home, or are you able to continue on with the caregiving?
I recommend people get themselves involved with caregiving right away. Most of our seniors want to stay at home. That is the ultimate goal for us, is to keep people at home. I had been a caregiver for 5 years, caring for my own mother, and I watched her go through a complete metamorphosis where she transitioned into somebody completely different. She was a completely vibrant person, very intelligent, smart woman, and I watched this transition the entire time, and it was really difficult. But what was most important for her was keeping her at home in her own space, with her own items, with her own things, with family that truly cares about her and loves her, and that's important for them.
What do you do in that situation? I'm in the similar boat. I've got my grandma, she has Alzheimer's. We've got a caregiver, but she is lashing out, right? Sometimes these patients become very angry. What do you do in that case as far as when they do have those episodes and maybe they are hitting a family member, they're pulling their hair, they're very mean?
The one thing you never want to do is argue with someone with dementia. They believe what they believe, and you cannot get them to change their mind or to change their thoughts. So do not argue at all with this person. A lot of times we as people trigger the people with dementia based on the things that we may say or do. So we have to be mindful of that. Definitely, we at Hearts for Dementia offer support groups incorporated with education, and so we teach a lot of these strategies to better manage your loved one.
So I've got the tools and resources to be able to care for them. I think that's important. Where do people go if they want to find out more information about Hearts for Dementia?
Yeah, you can come to our website at heartsfordementia.com.
We appreciate it. Really important topic, Lolita. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.